So that's a, let's explore that a little bit, because as I understand it from the perspective of North America, there has been quite a significant movement of emigration or migration of African Christians into the UK.
Yes.
And so I'd love to hear some stories or examples you may have of how some of those African communities have begun to express that sense of call to mission in particular places in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a brilliant story of a Nigerian pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Newcastle.
Mm.
He's been around the UK for, I think, 6-7 years now. But 3 years into his stay in the UK, we met up in Birmingham at Formation with Martin and the guys.
Yes.
And we talked about Mission Day, trying to give them language to express what they were sensing God was doing through their work in Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
And the importance of him paying attention to the fact that he is in Newcastle and God has placed him there for a purpose.
Right.
So in the conversation, we talked about things like how in your geographical location would you find places where the people who are not necessarily Nigerians, who are not necessarily migrants, but they hang out, they get together just to enjoy life.
Yeah.
It happened that very close to his house was a pub, and for British people, the pub is an important gathering place.
Yeah.
And he happens to be somebody who is so fascinated with football.
Mm.
So the Wednesday after our meeting in Birmingham, he went back to, he's back in Newcastle. He decides, like for the first time in his life, to go to this pub. The way he tells the story, he has an argument with his wife who does not understand how a Nigerian pastor can enter a pub. But of course, she lets him go. He gets into the pub, he gets his lemonade, he sits down, and everybody in the pub, and the people have seen him in the neighborhood for a long time. And so in the pub, they're looking at him strange, like, what are you doing here? What's happening? And there was football on telly. He begins to watch that, and the people ask him, what are you doing here? What? And he says, I'm here to watch football, which of course the British find fascinating.
Love, yeah.
And somebody said, do you support any team? And he says, yes, of course, I support Newcastle. It was Newcastle playing, and he was in Newcastle. So that connected with the people. Once he said that, the people in the pub, most of the people in the pub came and sat down on the table where he was alone before.
No kidding.
Barriers broken.
You bet.
And he gets into conversations with these people that 3 months later, the people that he met in the pub that night helped him host a football tournament for young boys 9 to 11. And they brought their friends, they brought their celebrity friends. It became a serious event that came out of just somebody deciding, I will do something that connects me with this location, with these people. And that's now it's almost 4 years later. The tournament has grown. It's still going on, and it has brought its own connections. So he's quite busy. His congregation has just planted 2 other congregations within the same area.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yes. And that is coming from the fact that he has stayed committed to this location. This is where God has placed us.
Yeah.
Let us be faithful to why God has placed us here.
And it's more than commitment to just this location. like he was crossing a lot of boundaries in terms of culture, ethnicity, class. He was going way out of what we would call the comfort zone to do that. That's a whole sense. It doesn't sound like what he was doing was just saying, who are other Africans like me that I can gather together? A whole different sense of engagement with place.
Yeah.
That's pretty stunning.
He was not looking for the Africans. He made a decision to look for the locals.
Yeah.
And so the place, the neighbors become important.
Yeah.